For a point each, do you want to take a guess at some of the big things around Australia?
Have they got a gigantic pie or something? I know pie and pea liquor is quite popular in Sydney. It's the kind of thing I imagine a pie company would build.
Yep, the big pie is mounted above a 10-metre pole next to the car park of a drive-through pie shop.
Get it?
Drive-through pie
shop? We've got it wrong over here.
Yorkshire, Australia.
Australia, we take it all back. You've got a lot to teach us.
We want your knowledge of gigantic drive-through pie shops. I've had
In fact,
Mystery Biscuit! Oh, yeah.
I've had a drive-through hot beef sandwich.
she actually came out on May the 22nd, 1989.
It's the next question could be, what date did she think it was?
Yeah, in fact, you can have a point for correctly guessing what I was about to ask. She went in on January 13th, came out May the 22nd.
And she
thought
thought
it was
every day
middle
was
of
2
March.
days.
Yeah,
You know what?
like that, yeah.
March the 15th. Exactly the middle of March. And your topic today is simple human. We're all thinking really quite big picture here, and not at all commercial.
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 Oh, did they make bog roll?
Oh, you know what? You're getting a point. It's not that close. They make rubbish bins, but that's close enough out of the blue that I'm gonna.
Oh, yeah.
That's like standing in a pub with a dart in your hand, spinning around 3 times with your eyes closed, doing that, getting a bullseye.
That's how I play darts.
And that's why you're banned.
Oh, actually, yeah, I've seen Matt play darts.
It turns the lights on if you're close to the mirror.
Yeah, so it
How
turns
do you
the
know
mirror.
you're close to the mirror if the lights aren't on?
It doesn't turn the room lights on.
Sensor,
it turns the mirror.
sensor mirror. Boing! And you hammer the light switch, which is just set up nearby.
Why?
I've sensed the mirror.
Why did I install this mirror? I've got to turn the lights off again now.
Mirror, mirror on the ball.
Oh, you bastard.
All right, at the end
Same
of
with the oven.
the end of that.
It's the most dangerous house going.
the hot
the
tap
telly
on the
on.
bath.
Dunk.
Mystery Biscuit! Oh, yeah.
Honey, will you switch on the light in the living room?
Also on the list of pastries, we have something called Nun's Puffs.
Brannon, I feel this is your...
They're the ones with have the name Nun's Farts.
Point and...
Mystery Biscuit! Oh, yeah.
It's hard to generate interesting questions about nuclear power plants. So let's go a bit more generic.
What happens
here.
if you wee in the reactor? That's an interesting question about a nuclear power
Your
plant.
dick
right there.
falls
Are we
off.
talking into the coolant or into the...
Into the reactor via a pipe. Okay, I'm not talking about opening the top up and just weeing in there. I know exactly that a jet of neutrons will come out and turn my dick into Godzilla or something like that, right?
I'm imagining it's just...
Such a brilliant image. I'm sorry. I think we should all just take a breath and appreciate that what we're actually seeing is a remake of Godzilla, just with a tiny Brannon perched somewhere very high in the shot, going, "Oh, I shouldn't have pissed in however you pronounce it, nuclear reactor." No, don't destroy Tokyo. We need that.
So I'm looking through, and there is just an enormous amount of genealogy and names and sort of intrigue in the court here. Does anyone want to take a guess at some proper sort of Bavarian names that could be in this?
Hands.
No hands, strangely enough.
That's weird.
They
That's
were all
probably
named.
why they died out.
Does that mean they were hands-free?
Oh, yes. Point. No, I can't give you a point. It's not
Biscuits.
a fact. I've just realised that whenever I hit that button, I do this kind of thing with my legs. I'm not sure why.
Can we just get a freeze frame of that right now? You're going,
We were talking about the flag of Mars. It's a tricolor, like the French flag or the German
Right, okay.
flag.
What, sideways?
Sideways.
red,
Red,
blue.
red, blue and green after Kim Stanley Robinson's Mars trilogy.
No way!
Red Mars, green Mars, blue
Blue
Mars,
Mars.
in that order, representing past and possible futures of Mars.
But how many will die as a result of this attack? Hundreds and thousands.
Oh!
Yes! You win! Tommy wins!
I feel we've been building towards that moment for the whole episode. Cut, print, let's go home.
Henry Jameson Handy. He got a bronze in the 1904 Olympics.
Was that the Olympics where they had to stop the marathon because the bloke drove a car and won it?
I Give me a moment.
There was one of those Olympics where the marathon was called off because some bloke blatantly ran the first 100 yards, got in a car, drove
It's
it.
much more common in the Tour de France in the early years as well.
Yeah.
Gary.
Nice.
Really?
Smooth.
1904 Summer Olympics. Frederick Laws rode the rest of the way in a car to retrieve his clothes after dropping out after 9 miles. The Centennial Light.
I know what it is.
Oh,
It's the really, really old light bulb.
point!
Balls!
Mystery Biscuit.
Oh, right. Hang on. So
Having looked through the wider articles, there are quite a lot of messages we've sent to various places over the years. One of the earliest messages that went out was the teenage message, which was from Russia in 2001. It included a live performance of music, and they just plugged the instrument effectively straight into the radio telescope. What instrument did they plug in that could send sort of coherent sound?
Theremin.
Yes! No! And in fact...
Can you get a more mysterious space music than that?
Making space noises into space.
Yep. First theremin concert for extraterrestrials.
Can we just end it on first theremin concert?
I've now looked up the official
people
one
who
here.
now do it, yeah.
The next one will be on the 9th of July, 2016, because there is a website, of course, for the Dunmo Flitch trials.
Natch.
Yeah.
There is a list of the successful claimants going all the way back to 1445.
Good work.
And they've also awarded flitches to a couple of couples. Who might that be?
Charles and Diana.
Point, in fact.
Mystery Biscuit.
Charles and Diana got a flitch. Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson just got a copy of the Flitch Oath. 38-foot yacht. Does anyone want to take a guess what it was called? Given that she was sponsored by her University of Birmingham.
The Brummy bastard.
It's a good name for a boat. Not
I was
quite.
hoping it would be sponsored by a Staffordshire University and then she could have been keelhauled.
Kiel is a town in Staffordshire.
Was the all right?
We're looking for a common problem with cross-channel ferries, with any ferry, really. If you go on
Seasickness.
point,
Right.
An
Finally.
anti-seasickness boat.
an anti-sea
What's the point of being on a boat?
So was this like a boat with like a thing that kept level all the time in it or something?
Mystery
A gimbal kind of thing to
Like you
counteract.
used to get for your CD Walkman in your car.
The boobry.
It's a bird.
Oh, yes! You're right, it's a bird, sort of. It can also appear in other forms.
Is it a fish?
No.
In the same way that a duck is a fish.
mythical beastie.
Oh, it is, have a point.
A shape-shifting thing.
I was going to say,
You know what?
Mystery Biscuit.
well, this is a quick one, isn't it?
Instant points,
Do I
instant biscuits.
get a point for mentioning kelpies and selkies?
I've just realised both military operations and medical operations happen in theatre.
You're right.
This is not funny. I've just realised
Theatre
they're
of
the same
war.
words.
Profound.
Yeah, I mean, I can't give you a point for it.
Give them some
but
biscuits at least.
Yeah,
Really?
sure,
It's
that's
not
worth
worth
it.
it.
I don't think it's worth a biscuit. I'm going to be.
Mystery Biscuit. Oh yeah.
We're looking for a type of military operation, some kind of big thing you wouldn't expect a horse to be involved in. It's not-
USO show.
Ocean landing.
Yes, absolutely. Point. In fact, that you can have the biscuits that you get scold for. Amphibious landing.
For those of you in the abroad parts of the world, Derek Okora's professional title is
The Jimmy Carter rabbit incident.
Oh, brilliant. Giant swimming rabbit attacks Jimmy Carter whilst fishing.
Right, that's it. We can go home. We can go home.
Personal bet, right? See everybody. That's us done for the day.
So, what was on the front of the Washington Post?
A cartoon, an artist impression.
Yes, you're getting a point straight away, but bear in mind, this is 1979. It's a film about attacks from the water.
Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Oh, that's a.
Mystery Biscuit. Oh yeah.
It's wrong.
Nose.
Jaws.
I'll give you the point there. It was pause. Graham Island.
Okay.
Is it a man or an island?
It is an actual island. This is somewhere in Europe.
Is it a volcano waiting to happen?
Victory. I'll give you a point and I'll give you biscuits for that, because that was spot on. What happened in 1987?
It was caploded on purpose so it was less of a danger to shipping.
I'm going to give you a point for being caploded. I'm going to give Gary the point for saying by accident. What were they actually? I can't believe I'm still using the word caplode. what were they actually trying to caplode? This was done from the air with a depth charge in 1987.
You can't be depth charging a bloody submarine. That's an act of war.
Point.
No, it's a kind of Libyan conflict or something, was it?
Mystery Biscuit.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Libya had submarines.
No, they were given a military coup.
No, they were given a happy birthday to you. Here's a military coup. You 5 minutes to leave, and your family too.
Mystery Biscuit.
But what are the parts of the test?
Identifying a fugu fish.
Correct. In fact, because it literally says a fish identification test. Victor Lustig.
Hang on a minute. Is this the bloke what sold the Eiffel Tower?
Mystery Biscuit. Oh, yeah.
Well, he's won.
So everybody else, go home.
He's the bloke who sold the Eiffel Tower, isn't he? Yeah,
Yes, you are missing a key word off the end of that sentence.
Multiple times.
Twice.
What distance are we talking? Are we talking like over a dock or over London? Because London was basically hydraulically powered up until the 1920s.
Oh, that's true.
London had a big hydraulic power system. So if it's over London...
You should explain how that worked.
Well, you just had big accumulators, so big towers that would be used to store the pressure, and it would be used for moving lifts, for goods lift, for cranes. It would be powered off a central hydraulic power system with pipes under London. That's still I think they're used as cable runs now under London. So it was a huge London-wide system, especially using the docks, so dock gates and cranes, but then lifts and other things that need powering left and hither and yon, like dumbwaiters in hotels.
So they just have a massive water tank at the centre of the system that created
several tanks. Yeah.
Created the pressure. That gets pumped through.
And you can use some pressure if you want it.
Yeah.
For the love of God, will somebody biscuits that man?
Would you explain the Love Boat for our viewers?
The Love Boat was a serial, I think it was probably weekly or something, where you would have a cruise
boat
liner.
went around trying to shag other boats.
My God, the one with the oil tanker, you should have seen that.
Lubricated.
That's kind of what it sounded like.
Make sure this one's called the Gary Brannan sound effects special.
As I have just done a cruise liner shagging an oil tanker.
Sorry.
Thank you. Recognise the effort of this series.
There is a wonderful quote here. It is infinitely to be regretted that we cannot trust the loyalty of mediums. They almost always cheat.
What he needed wasn't a medium. And I know it'd be very hard to find in France, but he needed a well done.
Hey!
I'm not biscuiting that. I'm not.
Oh, come on, beautiful.
I'm not.
That's good stuff.
It's a rare thing in France.
It is.
Yep, this was a woman called Ruth Belville who, like her father and her father before her father and his father before him, had sold the time to people who needed to know it accurately. So where did she go to get that?
Time magazine.
It's a grudging biscuit. She lived to the age of 89.
Till her...
Come on, man. That's the look that
Here
means
we go.
this is about to hit the cutting room floor.
Everybody, roll up your sleeves. This one's coming. Go!
This is terrible. Did she meet her untimely death?
On third
That wasn't even the joke. I hadn't noticed that. That was better. I was going to say, did she die at the third stroke?
No, but she got 3 years of retirement. Baseball and bridge. We are looking for something they have in common.
Rubber?
Absolutely spot on. It's which two games have both a rubber and a Grand Slam, and that is such a good bit of obscure knowledge. Then Jack Churchill.
Is it that nutter who tried to fight World War II with a claymore?
Episode over.
Sorry, now, you say episode over, there is a heck of a lot more to this story. He was captured.
Yes, was he?
Do you know the story there?
I can only presume that he was captured, went along willingly, beat all the guards at chess and poker, drank the camp commandant's rum, then dug his way out with his teeth while the commandant was passed out, chewing on broken glass and spitting it at guards, before having relations with the entire female population of the nearest town, lighting a cigarette on the ground, not even using a match, flipping the V and then walking into the camp and saying, "What have you f***ers been doing?"
Tom.
Just as a guess.
Tom, please ding. For the love of God, please ding.
I mean, it's not even close, but I'm going to give him the point for it.
Because doesn't he sort of gets everyone together, goes for his private jet, flies 4 hours or something to wherever this place is that makes it. They have some waiting in an aircraft hangar for him. I assume that's because he can't waddle out of the aircraft hangar at this point in time. They sit on the steps of the plane, scoff it, and then fly home.
Mystery Biscuit! Oh yeah!
Yes, what can you tell me about the rabbit-proof fence?
It wasn't rabbit-proof.
Hey!
Did they get in the hats of magicians?
Mystery Biscuit!
Where might this have been?
India?
Yes, despite the phrase, you are absolutely right. This was British colonial India, and they were concerned about venomous snakes, cobras. What did they try to do to solve the snake problem?
People to catch them. And then they wouldn't get rid of them all because if they got rid of them all, they wouldn't have an income, so they bred snakes to make sure they still had a solid...
She was charged in absentia for kidnapping, body snatching, and arson. So based on that, what was the heist?
Oh, so you take a dead body, replace your lover with it, then burn the whole place down to cover the tracks.
Damn! So at the end of the show, congratulations, Will, you win this one.
Yay!
You win a Greek philosopher's Mexican salamander speed control.
Oh.
It is...
Oh, Aristotle axolotl something throttle.
Yes! An Aristotle axolotl throttle. Congratulations, Will. You're thinking the wrong way round here. You're thinking
mouth?
production of noise.
A listening cat.
Espionage.
Remote control animal.
What? Is that an animal used to remote control or remote control of an animal?
Remote control of an animal.
Because the other way around, they use pigeons for bombs.
Say pigeons in bombs.
The Brits did that, I think.
Yeah.
They put a pigeon in a bomb and they made it peck on.
Yeah.
Trained it to peck on cities.
Yes, you're
So they
absolutely
pecked
right.
on a bit of glass, and which bit of glass they did, pulled a lever which made the bomb turn,
Yeah.
and then it went down to the ground. It landed.
What would you put in Dr. Rush's bilious thunderclappers? It's a very-
Mercury.
Not only that, absolutely spot on. They were 50% mercury pills.
Whoa.
What was the other 50?
A pill. He was instrumental to the founding of the Young Ladies Academy of Philadelphia.
Phillies in Philly.
Yes, he proposed I mean, don't get me wrong, that's genius. Just, like,